Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so today for our video, we're not going to make a card. I usually make cards, but today I am going to make a project. And I'm excited because when I went to our dollar store that's up the street, I looked through their Halloween products and I found this really cute little wooden house. It's actually a chalkboard. And so I thought, kind of looked at it, put it in my cart, and then I took it back, and then I got it again. So I am going to decorate this little house and for Halloween, and I'm going to give it away as a prize at my event that's coming up on October 7th. And so if you weren't aware, I'm doing my first full day off-site event, and it's called Stamp Fest. And I'm excited. I've got lots of people signed up, and I think it's going to be a really fun day. So I may do them in the future. We'll see. But so this is going to be one of the gifts. I'm going to give everybody gifts. And so this is going to be one of the gifts that somebody's going to win. So let's get started. I am going to be using some product from the mini catalog. I'm going to be using the Bag of Bones bundle, which I'm in love with. And I'll just show you I'm gonna kind of make it as I go. So, and also I painted my nails. I hardly ever paint my nails anymore. And the reason is because it chips off so quick. But I was tempted to trim my nails, and before I trim them, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna paint them and see if I like them. They're so long. So, long story short, I may have forgotten some product. I may have to get up and get some product, but we'll see. Okay, so here is the little house that I found. So yeah, that's a chalkboard. Pretty cute. And so, you know, everything's $1.25 now. So this was $1.25. And I'm in love with it. It's wood. And I'm not going to cover the sides. I could have painted it, and I thought about that. Should I paint it? But I think I'm just going to leave it natural. And then I cut out of the Them Bones paper. This was a little tricky, but I cut out some of the paper to put inside of here. And so the way that I cut it was I laid it down, and it was a little tricky. Well, first of all, I measured it. This part I measured, and then I cut it, and then I had to trim, and finally got it to fit. So long story short, I'm going to glue this in. Okay, so I'm just going to use our green liquid glue and put that inside. So it fits perfectly. So I don't know if you have, you know, a dollar store nearby. You might want to check it out if you're interested in making one. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that that's glued in tight. Okay, now here's the Bag of Bones stamp set, and I'm not going to stamp anything from the stamp set, but I am going to cut out several of the dies. So from Them Bones Designer Series paper, there's one sheet of skeletons, dogs and cats and all the cute things. So I just cut out made it easy, right? I just cut out one of the skeletons. And then I cut out one of the dogs. So I cut this out of the Designer Series paper also. And then I thought I wanted to give it a little substance, right? Because this Designer Series paper's thin. So I decided to cut out some extras of the skeletons and dogs. And I'm going to just glue these together. Okay, so I'm going to make the skeleton just a little thicker. So I just cut out a black cardstock, 2 skeletons. So I'm just going to glue these together. I'm going to put a lot of glue on here because I don't want it to fall apart. It's kind of important that these 3 pieces stick together. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this on top. And hold that down for a second. Squish out a little bit, that's okay. Put a little extra glue there. like I always seem to. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is take my little skeleton, and I'm going to put some glue on him. I prefer to use liquid glue for this instead of just regular adhesive, because I want all the parts to be glued down. Okay. All right. Do the same thing with the dog. I'm going to make the dog a little thicker. So I had thought about stamping this skeleton in, you know, and embossing him in white. But then I saw these and I'm like, oh, I mean, obviously he's rust colored red, but like, yeah, cute. Okay, so now you can see he's a little thicker than normal. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to adhere it in a different way. I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these dogs together also. Actually, what drew me to this stamp set is the dog and the cat, the little skeletons. I thought that was so cute. And at club this month, we actually made a Halloween card. And we used the skeleton, and I made them emboss the skeleton in white on black cardstock. And then they did the same thing with the cat. Yeah. So their card had the skeleton cat on it instead of the dog. And, you know, not everybody's into Halloween. I get that. I'm not a spooky person. Okay, I'm not into the scary part of Halloween, but I kind of into the cute part, like the cute pumpkins, and you know, I love fall mums and scarecrows and all the stuff, and go into pumpkin patches and all the stuff that goes with that. Okay, so now I have those together. Okay, I'm gonna let those dry for a little bit. In the meantime, I have my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm pretty sure that we don't have this right now. We might get it again, but you probably have a circle, right? You can cut out. So I'm going to punch out a white one. And this is thick cardstock. And I'm going to punch out a gray one. And this is smoky slate. Okay. And I'm going to use wild wheat ink with a blending brush. And I'm going to sponge on this is going to be a moon. Okay, put a little more ink on there than I really intended to. I think it's okay. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to layer these together. And I'm going to leave it just a wedge of the gray show. Okay, like that. Okay, and I'm going to put this onto my card up here. So I'm going to use a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut this off. Like that. That's not too big. I might cut a little more off. Okay. And I have to decide, do I want to put dimensionals behind that or just leave it as is? I think I will leave it as is. So I'm just going to put glue on there. Moon up here. Okay, and then I'm going to, I also cut out a fence. Okay, so before I put my skeleton and my dog on, I'm going to add some fence. And I know there's fence behind here, but I thought, kind of cute to just have some fence as an added portion of the project. Put some glue on here. Maybe it'll come out. There we go. I know it's not empty. So if you don't have a silicone craft sheet, I have to say, why not? Because they're inexpensive and they are fabulous. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down. And I'm not going to put it, I'm going to kind of put it in the center. I'm not going to put it all the way to the bottom. Just going to put it right there. And then I'm going to put my skeleton. I want my dog facing in. I don't want my dog facing out. I want my dog facing in. So I'm going to glue him to the wood there. And then the skeleton is going to be on this side. And the very reason is because I was going to switch it, but I don't want the dog facing out. I want the dog facing in. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. And this is where the extra cardstock comes in. Why I made him thicker is because I don't want that flimsy little dog, right, flopping around. I wanted to make sure that it was, because there's not a whole lot holding him on. Same thing with him. Just putting glue where he will be stuck to the wood. It's right here. So you can see it almost looks three-dimensional because it's popped up. The wood is, you know, it's about, yeah, 1/4 of an inch thick. And I wanted it. Okay, I'm not going to put any other words or anything on here. I'm making it a scene, not really like a card. Okay, so I hope I didn't make that moon too big. But I think it's so cute. So can you see the dimension here? So that is my little project. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a dollar store by you, you might want to check it out and see if they have these. $1.25. Yeah. Thanks for watching today. My name's Trevis Bossler, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri, and I appreciate your likes and shares. Thanks so much. Bye.